This is Father Andrew Ritchie, and you're listening to Catholic Inspiration, a podcast from my website at studyprayserve.com. These homilies, presentations, and retreats form part of my ministry as a Catholic priest for the Diocese of Superior. And now I invite you to open your hearts to some Catholic inspiration. Today is Tuesday of the 24th week of the year. Our Gospel reading is Luke chapter 7, verses 11 to 17. Jesus journeyed to a city called Nain, and his disciples and a large crowd accompanied him. As he drew near to the gate of the city, a man who had died was being carried out, the only son of his mother. She was a widow. A large crowd from the city was with her. When the Lord saw her, he was moved with pity for her and said to her, "Do not weep." He stepped forward and touched the coffin. At this, the bearers halted, and he said, "Young man, I tell you, arise." The dead man sat up and began to speak, and Jesus gave him to his mother. Fear seized them all, and they glorified God, exclaiming, "A great prophet has arisen in our midst, and God has visited his people." This report about him spread throughout the whole of Judea and in all the surrounding region. My last pilgrimage to the Holy Land, right before COVID, back in 2019, I actually paused outside of this particular site where this village was located where Jesus does this miracle. And it's an interesting passage because it's unique in the gospel readings. Only Luke recounts this passage of this man who had been dead and now is restored to life, and he's handed to his mother. A couple of things to note. He's the only son. He's the only child. Her husband is dead. She's a widow. And that meant that, her resources, her financial needs are going to become very, very difficult. Families supported families in the ancient world. And when you were truly a widow, you were unable to provide for yourself, maybe because of age or infirmity. You had no family. You were really on your own. It's a very difficult place to be. So we have here an insight not only into her needs, but the mercy of Jesus. His heart is moved with pity for her. Don't weep, he says. He knows the circumstances. He understands the implication. Do not weep. Now, there's one other thing that's revealed in here besides the heart of Jesus, his mercy, his compassion. To approach a coffin, something that's unclean, a dead body, a corpse. Now you're in ritual impurity. Now you'd be all sorts of issues would have to come against you. You'd have to separate yourself from the community, and you'd have to be purified and go through a ritual process. Not for Jesus. He just stops the whole thing. Everybody stops. And with a word of command, "Young man, I tell you, arise." So Jesus transcends the ritual impurity that surrounds touching a dead body. Jesus commands verbally, and this man is restored to life. The compassion of Jesus, the power of Jesus, and the way in which Jesus is present to bringing about life from death. Now, everybody's amazed, everybody's in shock and awe, as they should be. But what's so beautiful here is to see the power of Jesus with the compassion of Jesus present here in this single action. That the Lord reveals his power, but here's a tenderness. This is a grieving widow, and he gives her son back to her. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And Jesus gave him to his mother. They're restored. She'll tell the tale for the rest of her days. His life in that community will be a sign of the power of Jesus. And when we understand that compassion and power here are revealed in the Lord, then it empowers us and in fact invites us to draw near to Jesus, who looks with the same kind of compassion into our lives. The Lord knows us. The Lord understands us. The Lord loves us. And therefore, there are times when we might be afraid to draw near to Jesus. But if the same kind of compassion, the same pity that he took upon this situation, he takes upon us, then friends, may we run to Jesus today. May we draw near to the Lord and allow the Lord's love to fill us, wash us clean, restore us, that we might have our relationships healed and renewed, and that we might be given a newness of life to be able to follow Christ here on earth until the day he does call us to heaven. So today, is there something wounded in our hearts? Is there something in us that, maybe the world doesn't see, but we're struggling, we're suffering? May we turn to Jesus, who has pity upon our plight. May we call upon the Lord for what we need, that his power, revealed here in this passage, will also touch our hearts, to give us the strength we need to carry on, to live our lives for Christ. God bless you all. This is Father Andrew, and I hope this podcast inspires your faith. Now, if you found it helpful, please share it with a friend, and you can help me by leaving a rating and a review. I keep all my listeners in my daily prayers, and I ask for your prayers in return. God bless you, my friends.